morning, everybody. It is Patsy from Patsy's Crochet. I'm here again. I'd like to thank everybody for their lovely, beautiful comments yesterday. Such heartfelt. It meant a lot to me. Thank you so much, everybody. But see, to start the story off, I went through a lot of therapy, and I've learned to overcome most all of it. But they also told me that when I got older, I was going to have flashbacks of my past. There's something in my past that the Children's Aid, at that time it's called Children's Aid Brantford, they didn't want to tell me nothing unless my parents had died. I couldn't get my files, or my sister couldn't get her files either. There was something horrible in it, they said, and I would need a therapist. Well, after me being young and having all these therapists and stuff like that, I think it was, I don't know, I was so young. After what happened to me at high school there, with my kidney and all that, I went into like a state of depression, or postpartum, I guess it's I don't know what it's called. It's something to do with trauma. So I've learned a lot. I left high school after that encounter. I had too many people picking on me, so I had left high school. I didn't know who I was, because I was told, you know, most all my life that I was a bad kid. You know, when you're growing up, it's good to have people, like I had my sister, and but she went to another foster home and got adopted. I went to the same foster home as my sister Donna, but say there was a lot of things that went wrong in that foster home. So I don't want to make it all sound droopy, and it is sad, but how do I put that in words? My sister and I had to get out of that foster home where she got adopted. And I went through, from that time, they took me away from my sister. It wasn't my fault. It was the foster parents' fault. That's why I didn't understand why my sister got adopted from that family after knowing what they did. You know, they like, I can tell you a funny story. It's funny now, but at the time it wasn't funny. There's this one time, I can't say the names, but the foster mother went to work, and it was his birthday. And me and my sister woke up really early, so we thought we'll go watch some TV down in the basement. Well, this TV, we turned it on, and it's all that black and white speckle things going around, and it was making that buzzy noise. So I told Dawn, I said, turn off, we're going to get in trouble, we're going to get in trouble. Well, we ran back upstairs, back into our rooms, and was it that day? Yeah, it was the same day he made porridge in the morning. Ugh. That's why today I won't eat oatmeal. He put so much salt in the pot, and my sister would eat anything. Even though she didn't like it, she ate it. Well, if I didn't eat it for breakfast, I would have to have for lunch, for supper, and it continued on for a week. Okay? By this time, this little girl was starving. I was starving. Well, they went on a boat ride this one time, and we took our dog and everything like that. The dog wouldn't even eat it. I don't blame him. Now I don't blame him. But I was starving. And these people brought in Kentucky Fried Chicken on the boat. And my sister was sitting there eating and everything like that. She was trying to sneak me pieces and all that, but it didn't work. And I threw the freaking porridge, because after 1 week, you know, having porridge for breakfast and then lunch, if you didn't eat for breakfast or lunch or supper, you had to have it the next day, so forth and so forth. This foster, I'm telling you, I don't know how people raise kids like that. But so I threw the bowl, the spoon, and everything overboard, and I told them that I finished it and I want some chicken. Well, they knew that I threw it overboard, and I couldn't have no chicken, french fries, nothing. So I was bawling real bad. I would never do it to a child. Never. They didn't like something, they didn't eat it. I'd make something else. But back then, this is how this foster home was. So the next day, me and my sister, it was his birthday. She went to work. We went downstairs, turned on the TV. It was early in the morning. And it made that strange, excuse my language, strange noise. So we ran back upstairs. I put a book, because I knew what was going to happen. I put a book, a children's little book, in my bottom, my PJ bottoms, on my butt. Well, he came up with the belt, and Donna, I said to the guy, I said, well, you know, I was pretty little, right? I don't know, I can't remember how old I was, but I started talking about it. I said, you ain't gonna hurt me. You know, I have a strong butt, he said. And Donna was bawling her eyes out. I said, what are you crying for? Come on now, right? Well, Donna got a whooping first, and I was bawling because, you know, man, she got a whooping. And then he came to me, and he was strapping me down, like, you know, belting me. And I was laughing at him. And it made him mad. I was this little. I don't know. I said, you ain't gonna hurt me. So he had belted me. Then he noticed that I had a book in my ass. Sorry, my butt. And then I got the belt. Well, from that day forward, me and my sister, the school knew something was wrong, so they grabbed my sister, got a hold of my sister and me, and my sister told them everything, what happened. And that afternoon, I was switched to another foster home, and Donna stayed there. And I said, well, why are you letting Donna stay there? Like, why are you letting my sister stay there after knowing what the belt we got, right? Like, they seen the marks and everything, so why would they allow that to happen? You know, like, to me, they allowed that to happen because they let Donna stay there. So it was just a hell ride. Like, some foster homes are really, really nice out there, and some were just downright cruel. But life is what you make it. And all the pain and suffering that I went through, we had a couple of foster homes that got fired, which they needed to be fired. But if you think about it, you know, I don't, you know, sometimes I sit there and I think, I go, okay, I know I didn't. What did I do wrong? I could be sitting there watching TV. Like, we're only allowed to watch TV. It was for like a half hour, and it was Bugs Bunny at that time. Or was it Fred Flintstones? One or the other. It was old. And we were outside most all day long. They would lock the back screen. We were only allowed to come in for lunchtime and go to the bathroom and then go back outside. They locked the screen door back up, even if we were thirsty or hungry. No, we had to come in, go in for lunch, then we went in for supper, then we took our bath, then we had to go to bed. But we were allowed to watch a half hour of TV, so me and my sister liked the Bugs Bunny. Either it was Bugs Bunny or it was Fred Flintstone at that time. I can't remember what show it was. We got to watch it. And, you know, and I threw temper fits all the time because I didn't know, you know, like I wanted to go back home to mom and dad and couldn't go back to mom and dad. And I wasn't used to, you know, having, I don't know. But at that time, children's aid should have known, you know, most of those foster homes shouldn't have been foster homes. Especially when you have a child, you know, with special needs, like me, okay? Special needs, and I had high temper tantrums. When they took, you know, Cookie Monster away from me, I would throw a temper fit because they forced me to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do by myself without my sister. But I didn't have my sister. And I felt all alone. And Cookie Monster was my only friend, like I was telling you yesterday. So, I was always alone. So I threw temper fits and stuff like that because at that time I didn't know what was going on, why I was getting switched to different foster homes, and you know, people, oh well, this child's different and stuff like that, and we can't handle this stuff and stuff like that. You know, you don't switch foster homes. Like I went through so many of them because of this, and because they didn't know how to handle a child with special needs, like with learning difficulties and speech impairment, and you know, they didn't know how to teach. Like all they had to do was be kind. They didn't have to be hateful. You know, you know, I don't know if it was this because they're just getting paid for having a child. I don't know what the situation was, but that was cruel. Half of them were so cruel that they shouldn't have been foster parents. But, you know, imagine a little girl, you know, her only friend was Cookie Monster, and she was forced into a world that she didn't know. She was scared, alone. You know, you think that you want to help that little girl out or little boy out. You know, you just don't leave them hanging. All they did is switch me to foster homes. Well, that didn't do no good because it happened again there. Like, I didn't know who I was. It's like my identity left. I went through so much trauma that I landed in myself in the psychiatric ward in the hospital. And all I wanted to do was make people laugh. That's all I wanted to do. Even though I was in pain, I wanted to make someone else laugh because it made me feel better by the end of the day. So at 16, sitting in, you know, a psychiatric ward or whatever you want to call them, making people laugh. They said I had no problems. Well, yeah, I did have problems. I didn't know who I was. And I needed help. Someone to listen to me, to talk to me, to tell me that I wasn't a bad child. And I became a good person, and or Well, I was a good person all the time. It's just that I had difficulties and nobody wanted to help me with the difficulties. So that's why, you know, I had a hard life. All I wanted was friends. All they did is hurt me and use me, then stab me in the back. You know, part of life, right? But it shouldn't be part of life. That's not life. It's hell. And then you get the foster parents think that they're better than you, and their own kids are more better than you, and you watch them open up birthday presents and stuff like that, and you sit there and you go. So children, you know, my work came with children. They said, "Well, what did you get for your birthday today, Patsy?" And I looked. I said, "Nothing, nothing." They said, "Nothing." I didn't get nothing. And I was crying. I just wanted my sister. That's all I wanted. I wanted my sister. And I couldn't see my sister. So, but they got in trouble because they had money from the Children's Aid to go out and buy presents for my birthday and make me feel loved and wanted, but it didn't happen that way. So my worker from Children's Aid Society at that time took me to her place, and her husband did a barbecue. I played with their little doggy. I stayed there for a week. She wanted to adopt me so bad, but she wasn't allowed because workers at that time wasn't allowed to do that. And she didn't think that was right because I went through much abuse from different foster homes that she just wanted to take me in and love me, and she wasn't allowed to. So they switched workers, and I don't know. I remember some good parts, and most parts of this side. Yes, I went through a lot, but I overcome a lot. I learned on my own how to read, how to write. Sometimes I get my words mixed up or the spelling mixed up, but at least I still do it. I went back to school, like online school, not online, but at home schooling. But I need one-on-one. That's why I like the one-on-one learning things. But once I get the hang of doing it, I'm right there, I'm doing it. And if I like it, I'm going to sit there and do it a lot, right? So, they say life is what you make it. Well, at 3 years old, at 5 years old, at 6 years old, 7 years old, young like that, you don't know. You have no idea. When I went to high school, I had no idea what it was like. But I'd never walk back into high school unless one of my kids at that time, when they were going to high school a while ago, if there was any problems, I was right there. Oh yeah, I stuck up for them. Because, you know, I have children with, 2 children that are ADHD and 1 special needs. And they would always make them feel left out. And I didn't like that. And after so long of this happening, I walked into that school, got a hold of the school board, and I yelled, I screamed, I did everything. I said, you do not put a child in a corner. Like, not in a corner, well, and leave them there. Or have them sit at a table and making them watch everybody else do something, you can't do it. And make them feel that they're bad because they have this problem. No, you don't do that. You don't do that at all. That is wrong. Wrong teaching, wrong learning. So, you know, I learned a lot. And I'm proud of myself. I overcome a lot. But there's those days, you know, depression hits and, you know, you just think, sometimes you wish that it never happened, but it happened, you know, and I've learned to stand on my own 2 feet. I learned to stand up for myself. There's some things that I'm not sure of, I will ask. And if I still don't understand something, I will ask again. And if people get upset with that, I'm really sorry, but that's me. If you use technical words, like college words. Just simplify it, you know. You don't have to use those big long words when there's a short word for it, right? But crocheting keeps me occupied. And look at, I did a lot since yesterday with our first chat, so I thought I'd do some more with the second chat. It's fun. This is helping me. Believe me, it's helping me. When I talk to my new friends and my new subscribers and my old subscribers, and you learn more about the person, you know, that's trying to teach you something. And it's hard because I have a hard time. You can tell with some of my tutorials, I do have a hard time. My speech sometimes, my slur F's and the V's, I get sometimes mixed up. It's hard to say a certain word without fumbling. But we all learn, you know. I'm very happy that I taught myself a lot. Taught myself how to read. Math? No. I'm not good at math whatsoever. Math is my worst subject. I don't know. But I'm still here. I'm still doing what I love. I love my kids and my grandkids dearly. But it's time for Patsy too to like something that she wants, right? And this is what I like. So I'm trying to think of things to do for our, you know, for my channel. But I guess I'm going to do it this way because I'm trying. Yes, that's what you want to call the word trying. I still haven't heard nothing from Sue, so I hope that she's okay. I really do. I might email her later. I really don't want to bother her if she's sick, though. You know, I hate bothering people when they're sick. But I hope that she knows that I'm thinking of her and I wish her well and that you guys are there. And thank you for saying the prayers for her and keep on doing it. It's amazing. Amazing all the support we got out here, don't we? And I appreciate all the support I get from my subscribers and I call you my family, okay? So if you hear me say my family, that means you guys. And I love talking to everybody. I appreciate all the comments that I get. You know, it makes me feel good. And like I could tell you more stories of younger days, but most of it is just, you know, learning to cope with my temper tantrums that I had. I learned how to pretty much deal with my anxieties, postpartum depression. I think I don't know what's called, PSD or PTSD, whatever it's called. But there's sometimes I just like to talk. Just let it all out sometimes. Makes me feel better. But I think bullying is wrong. Bullying is wrong. And if the parents can't do something about their child being a bully, I don't know how to, no, I said that wrong. There's some parents that don't care what their kids do. And then there's parents like us that care. And I can't see these little kids getting tormented by anybody, especially if they're in a home. and they have problems and they get bullied. Mm-mm. It's not their fault. It's not their fault whatsoever. And I learned that too. It's not my fault that I had temper tantrums. It's not my fault that my parents were severe alcoholics. It's not my fault. And I have to tell that myself pretty much every day. Like the therapist taught me that I am a good person. And I do have, you know, problems. But I don't deserve being treated poorly. I tried my best to please everybody, but I haven't pleased myself yet. That's how they say it. And this doing my YouTube brings me lots of happiness. Even though I don't know what kind of tutorials to do, because sometimes I'd be watching something and say, hey, and here I am doing it. Let's say if I'm crocheting something like this, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there going, oh my God, someone else did it. Well, I can't do that tutorial because they're going to think that I took it from them. Meanwhile, I did a whole pattern just to show you guys that's our tutorial. I mean, well, it's already been out there, you know? So I have to really be creative, or try to be creative and think of different stitches to put together and make something beautiful so you guys, you know, my family here can hopefully do some of my tutorials. I like to I want people to show me, like, you can even email me. I'll leave my email address down below, and then just show me some of your, if you've done any of my tutorials. I'd love to see some. I'm also on Facebook. You just have to write, type in Patsy Atfield, and you'll get, you'll go right to my Facebook page, you know. And I do have a group page too down there, but I think I'm going to delete it and start a new page down there because no one's going on it for some reason. So you can add me as a friend if you want on Facebook, if you have it. You can also email me. I don't really write a lot, so if you leave me a long message, I have to read it and then think about how I'm going to write it back to you. So if it's a really long message, you might just get a short one back, but just to let you know that I love you all, and I thank you for every day that I spend. And I like chit-chatting too, so I'm glad that you like watching chit-chat stories, and, you know, and believe me, you just listening to my stories of me growing up and stuff like that in the hardship, it makes me feel better that I let it out, because like the therapist says, you gotta let it out sometimes, right? Because you guys didn't know me. I'm a stranger to you, and it's good to get to know each other. Because that's how you make friends. Yeah, they're starting to drill. They're doing the brickwork. Some of the brickwork that's around our building that needs to be repaired. So if you hear that loud drilling, it's just them. I won't make it a long video today because of that noise. Hopefully I'll be on later on with the tutorial. I don't know yet. I'm trying to think of what to do. You guys done a lot of stuff, and I have to think. It takes me a while to think of a new project to do for you guys, or for us to do together. Like I can whip up another of these kind of blankets, but I know you guys like different things like shawls and stuff. but sometimes it's hard to do a fancy shawl because I know the stitches, it's just doing it, like how many to count and stuff like that, and then write it all down so you guys, you know, that I could teach you. I can hear that drilling is driving me nuts. But this blanket's coming along. So how's your day out there today? Mine is sunny so far. It's supposed to be a little warmer today, so we'll see. I'm not too sure. Oh, when I was talking about the yarn that's coming in, I did order 3 different kinds of cotton, Darcy cotton, and another shade of the pistachio yarn from the Yarn Nut store. Gorgeous stuff, and the pricing wasn't bad, so that is awesome. So I thank you, Gia, if you're watching, and doing good. So we got a lot of unboxings this month. I got a lot of yarn. I see something, I just have to have it. But the Mary Maxim is all brand new stuff that just came out. I don't know if anybody's shown it before or not, but hopefully I'll see that. We'll see that shortly. Okay, well, it's getting louder and louder and louder. I don't want you guys to hear all this jackhammering or whatever they're doing. But I thank you again for watching me, and hopefully I'll come back on later on with a little tutorial. Okay, God bless you guys. I love you all. Stay safe, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye bye, love.